I know that I hung on a windswept tree 9 long nights, wounded with a spear dedicated to Odin. Myself to myself on that tree of which no man knows from where its roots run. With no bread did they refresh me, nor a drink from a horn. Downwards I peered. I took up the runes, screaming I took them. Then I fell back from there. 9 mighty spells I learned from the famous son of Bolthor, Bestla's father, and I got a drink of the precious mead, I soaked from Udrira. Then I began to quicken and be wise, and to grow and to prosper. One word from another word found a word for me. One deed from another deed found a deed for me. Odin's sacrifice from the Poetic Edda. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, welcome. I'm Bonnie, Old Soul Mermaid, and today I'm very happy to do an unboxing for you from a deck that was sent to me by its creator all the way from the UK. And I'm very excited about this deck, the Painted Runes deck, because the creator has created one of my favorite tarot decks of the last year. Sophie McKay Knight is a UK-based artist who studied art at the Edinburgh College of Art from 1992 to 1997. She is also an artist who has a deep love of the tarot. She began working on her first deck, the Painted Tarot, in early 2018 and released the completed deck in June 2020. Some of the original prints form the Fool's Journey exhibition at the Union Gallery, Edinburgh in October 2020. On October 24th, 2020, art journalist Jan Patience chose the Fool's Journey exhibition as her critic's choice for the Herald magazine. The up-close and personal vantage points of the figures depicted in the Painted Tarot really stirs something within the soul, as if they are looking right through you, ready to have a conversation with you. The fact that the creator used real-life people, models, dancers, really stirs something within and gets the creative juices flowing, and is a reason why this deck is one of my top favorites of the past year. So without further delay, why don't we tear into this puppy and see the contents inside? All right, everything's been taken out of the package, and it looks like I have a beautiful postcard. This is probably one of the cards in the deck. There is a guidebook, which we will take a look at in just a second. And we have the cards in more packaging, so I'll be right back. So here is the deck. It comes in a wonderful tuck box, much like the Painted Tarot. And I have taken the deck out, but it's just, here you go, a basic tuck box. Sturdy, it's not flimsy. And here we have the deck itself. I would say it's standard Oracle deck size. I'm trying to see, now let me get the tarot, a card from the tarot, so I can compare the card stocks in case you have the tarot deck. Similar, but I think I'm gonna have to play around with it. They're very similar, but I would say the rune deck is a little bit more flexible, maybe has a little bit more of a coating on it. I could be imagining that, but they feel very similar. Let's look at size. Okay, so the rune deck is the exact same size as the tarot deck. I'll try it this way. You know, there is a slight difference in the cardstock, and I do think there's a little bit more of a coating on the rune deck. This is a very matte, and I think this was described, the tarot deck here was described as Santa playing card stock, I believe in the original description, but correct me if I'm wrong. So there is a slight difference in the cardstocks. The cardstocks of both decks are very sturdy. So I think what's called for now is I'm going to flip these beautiful cards over, and we're going to do a musical flip through, and then we'll take another flip through again. So I'll meet you on the other side. Hope you enjoyed that musical flip through. We're going to flip through this deck again. There's not very many cards, but just so for those of you who would like a slower look, and just a disclaimer here, I can't roll my R's, and so the pronunciation that I'm about to give is not going to be good. All right, so with that, here we go. So here we have Fehu, Urus. It's beautiful, just beautiful. Thurisas, Anzus, and I just love the close-up vantage point. Just like Sophie McKay Knight's tarot, I really like how her images, they're just looking right through your soul. Rydal, Kauna, Gebo, Wunyo, Hagalas, Naudis, Isas, Yera, Perdo, Iwas, Algis, Solo, Tiwas, Berkana. All these colors are so beautiful, so beautiful. Ihuas, Manas, Laus, Ingus, Dagas, Othala, and then we have, I believe, the unknowable for the blank rune. This stands in for the blank rune. And then she has put in the link. And she has put in the word future in here. All right, so let's take a look at the book. The painted runes, seeing further. And I love that there is full color in this guidebook. And this, you don't have to buy the guidebook separately. It comes with the deck. And the creator says, I first met the runes as a child and was drawn to their mysterious energy immediately. And she says, after I completed the painted tarot deck, I knew I wanted to make a rune deck, but was not sure where to start. There are so many ways which runes can be interpreted, and that's what I've been finding. And there isn't a standard structure through which to work with them. Because of this, my interpretations in this booklet enter via the tarot route, but purely as a way in. However, there is no easy correlation with single tarot card meanings, and so for me, one rune relates to several tarots all at once. I have included these in the description of each rune, but you can choose to disregard the comparisons and let your own intuition guide you. Yes, and that's the thing with the runes. I have a set of runes, but I have not yet delved in to deep study with them yet. So this is going to be very, very helpful as a way in. And she says the runes do not have an official order, but it is very common to see them placed in 3 families of 8. And so this is how she has segmented them. And that's how we'll find them in the book. So what you get in the book, for instance, so for the card Fehu, you get the keywords nourishment, possession, wealth, and then the description. This is a rune of fulfillment, ambition satisfied, rewards, and value. Consider the meaning of value in your own life. What nourishes you? There were originally 2 figures in this painting, but I took one of them out to reflect the idea that you cannot rely on anyone else for the wealth in your own life. Value yourself and get out of your own way, even if the situation is a challenging one. Nourish yourself so you can help others and share your good fortune. The figure in this painting wears a soft pink cloak and has no outward signs of wealth. So also has one eye hidden. Is there anything you're not acknowledging in the area of wealth and self-worth? And then she has tarot associations. So for this card, it would be the 6 of coins, the 6 of wands, the 9 of cups, the 4 of coins. So this gives me a little bit of insight because I was wondering if maybe the artwork for the cards in this deck were maybe artwork that she didn't choose for her painted tarot, because, you know, the aesthetic is it's similar. The technique, the mixed media, you know, the whole vibe is very similar. So they're going to be a good companion and foil for one another. Absolutely. So it seems like she did set out to make artwork separately for this deck instead of them being carryovers from the painted tarot. So she goes on, so you get a little colored picture, which is great if you like to study your guidebooks in bed and you don't have to have your cards spilling all over the place. And let's see. So yes, she has the unknowable or blank rune. And then she has the extra card, which she has put in her deck, the link. And what it says for this card is, the intention which sat behind this painting stemmed from a desire to honor the ancient female rune casters, many of whom were revered, respected, and sometimes feared. At first I wanted the paintings to sit in the space of the blank rune, but I then realized it was more connected to the actual spiritual practitioners in Norse society. With that in mind, I feel it should be in this deck as an additional card which links the ancestors with those of us who now use spiritual tools to help others and gain insight for themselves. You can use the link card in a reading and attach your own meaning to it, or simply have her beside you to help with your connection. Oh, I love that. I love that. And then she has, the last page is how she uses the runes, and a little bit about reversals. Oh wait, there's one more page. Oh, there's some spreads. There is evidence that divinatory runes were read from right to left in keeping with how the language was written in ancient Germanic and Nordic cultures. It is helpful when consulting the runes to ask, what do I need to know about my issue, or how I should approach this issue, rather than tell me what is going to happen. You can use the runes in any spread that you like, but here are a few that I use. So she has Odin's rune, so it's just one card. She has past, present, future, and then a 5 rune spread for advice. So card number 1 would be your starting point, 2 would be higher wisdom, 3 spiritual support, 4 underlying influences, and 5 future possibilities. This is fantastic. And just in case we haven't paid enough attention to the beautiful backs, here they are. But what I appreciate with this deck, now I haven't gone through each card, of course, yet with the guidebook, but most rune decks that I have seen have, you know, they're beautifully decorated, maybe with some flowers or some nature, and then they have the symbol forefront. Now, in this case, we have a beautiful image where you can derive the energy of the symbol or the rune. And I think that might be a great way into getting started and working with runes. So I'm going to see, working with the guidebook and working with the cards, if there's a correlation with the energy depicted in the card and the meaning derived in the guidebook, and then also from more intense research with the meanings of the runes. I know there's a lot of there can be a lot of corruption with the meanings and the alphabet and pronunciation. It depends who you listen to, or which way you're going to go. There's lots of possibilities, and that's what makes runes so fascinating. We think we get confused with trying to learn all the meanings of the tarot cards, because there's so many ways you can go, and it's up to interpretation. But with these ancient runes, it's even more of that. So before I go, I would love to express my gratitude to the creator of the painted runes, Sophie McKay Knight, for sending this beautiful deck to me. And also to let you know, if you'd like to see my full unboxing of the painted tarot, I will leave it in the description box below, and also up here in the cards somewhere. And I would love to hear from you, your thoughts on this deck. And also, do you prefer to work with physical runes or rune decks, and which one is your favorite? Okay, that's all for today, and with that, I will leave you to get on with your beautiful day. Bye for now.